You see, the problem of Africa, this huge continent, Africa is 12 million square miles. India is 1 million square miles. So you can fit in Africa, India, 12 times, and it will fit there. However, even today, the population of India is still bigger than the population of the whole of Africa. So the problem of Africa was this huge landmass with a lot of resources, with smaller population. Foolishness there can thrive. Because the resources are there, you eat mangoes, you don't have to work. You can find somebody sleeping in the streets. He doesn't die quickly, he dies slowly, but it's not dramatic. So that's the first thing you had to struggle with. To make sure, up to now, we have been I've been fighting this for the last 60 years. I started this struggle with my villagers there in 1959. When I went to Mbara High School, when I went back home, I started telling our villagers, because I visited Mbara Stock Farm, the government farm. And when I went back, I started challenging those fellows there. Just there, seated, drinking their pombe, talking. They are not bothered. They are living a bad life, but they don't know it. So even by the census of 2014, 68% of the homesteads in Uganda were still working for Echida Kyonka. 68%. Only 32% are working for money of the homesteads. This is the big struggle, to make the ones in agriculture work for food, but also work for money. But secondly, industries. Because if you have got agriculture only, and you don't have industry, how will you process what you produce in agriculture? It will run into problems. Secondly, what inputs would you use in agriculture if you don't have industry? Because you need hose, you need fertilizers, So agriculture depends on industry for processing, but also for inputs. Then the services, like a hotel. This man has built a hotel here. He has helped us. There was nothing here. I don't remember what was here. I don't remember anything was here. But we come now, there's a very nice place. We can sleep here, even if you... the other day, in the NRM day, I told them how one day I was moving my father's cow from a place called Kanoni in Ibandakazo to Kashari. I was moving it on foot. Okufunya, they call it okufunya when you walk the cow. English is a poor language, they don't have enough words. But when you say okufunya, it is very clear. Now I moved, I had money. We moved from Kanoni all the way up to Kashari. We couldn't get anywhere to buy something, a refreshment. There were no hotels. This was 1963. No hotels, nothing. The services were not there. So that's why the Banyankwera had to say, Okrar Romuntu, if you went on a journey, you had to be accommodated by somebody. Okrar, Nora Roha, where would you stay? Because there were no independent accommodation where you could stay, no neutral accommodation. So when I moved the cow, we got to a place called, we could not buy anything. The water in the swamp was dirty. I was educated enough not to drink the swamp water. But there was nowhere to buy anything. Until we got to a place called Rubindi, there was a shop there. And the man had Coca-Cola. So I left my colleague wrestling with the cow, because we had to tie the cow with a rope. And somebody, we were two. One was holding the rope. So I went in the shop. I said, please, sell us Coca-Cola. He says, you bring empty bottles. Bring empty bottles from, I am walking with the cow. Where do I get? At that time, there was an arrangement that you could pay an extra amount, 50 cents, in exchange for the bottle. But the man refused. He refused my extra payment for the, he says, I wanted the, so we couldn't buy anything. We just left. The whole day we couldn't drink anything. Why? Services were zero. Services, hotel, transport, what have you. Very, very, very difficult. So that's why we say, for you people to get on the modern bus, which you have been missing for the last 600 years, since Europe shifted to machine power, and for you, you remained with muscle power, we need the four sectors: commercialize agriculture, industries, modernize services, like this hotel here. So I don't have to know anybody in Kampala. I can come, pay money to this man, and I sleep here and go away. I don't have to inconvenience, when I'm not in Kampala, I don't have to inconvenience any relative to come and stay with the relative, because the services are not developed. But there's also another sector which has come up, the ICT, and I'm glad you are beginning to use it here, the computers. That is also another sector which was not there, which has now come up. So that means now there's a little bit of waking up now, what we have been saying, some degree of waking up in agriculture. That's why you hear now that there's a lot of coffee. Coffee has gone to 5 million bags from 2 million bags. Tea, 60 million kilograms from 3 million. Maize, from 200,000 tons to now 5 million tons. Milk from 200 million liters to now 2.5 billion liters. Also, you hear now there is a surplus of all this. Surplus of milk, surplus of maize, surplus of bananas, surplus of all these, even industrial products, cement, steel bars, and so on, sugar. So the Ugandans are now shocked. They are not used to surplus. Ngat food. Echengera. They are not used to echengera. They are not used to omweru, call it omweru. So I found, of course, the price came down a little bit. The price of these things came down. And they were really panicking. So I said, what is the problem? Too much sugar. I went to Jinja. Ebikado bingi kamara. I said, but, so the question was, Ebikado, Binji Kamara, what are you using them for? Sukari. Sukari mwingi ino. Okay. Sukari for what? For them, they are talking of sukari for chai. But don't you know this sukari for Coca-Cola? For making Coca-Cola? Because according to the figures, this one is still being imported. And it is taking something like $50 million. The Coca-Cola are using imported refined sugar. So the sugar they are saying is too much is the sugar for chai. But the sugar, the more refined sugar for Coca-Cola is still being imported. There's a factory here for medicine in Ruzira, Quality Chemicals. They use pharmaceutical grade sugar to make what do you call it? Syrups for medicine for children. That one is being imported. So I said, you are talking of surplus of sugar. Actually, you don't have surplus. You are still asleep. Mucharambaire, ukulambara. That's what we call it in Rusoga. Mucharambaire, you are still asleep. Let's now bring people to process, to refine this sugar for tea, refine it more, so that Coca-Cola doesn't import sugar for beverages, they buy yours. Then the one for medicine, and so on. Those Banyankole there, amate. What is the matter now? The milk is too much. What is the problem? But I heard that in the US, they are buying a chemical called casein or something like that. There is a protein they are getting from milk. So the milk they were talking about is just milk for drinking. But the byproducts of milk, those ones they were not talking about. So people, after a long, long struggle by us, people are beginning to wake up and produce using machines. The sugar factories, the milk factories, more modern methods in agriculture, and because of that, production is going up. And because production is going up, we now have the problem of the market. Who buys what you produce? The internal market is no longer enough. The regional market is no longer enough. The other day, the Kenyans blocked our milk because the milk is much in Kenya and also much here. They also blocked our sugar. So, your people here are beginning to get out of sleep, to know that to live a modern life, you need to produce using your machines, and when you produce using your machines, you produce on a big scale, and when you produce on a big scale, you need a big market. So that's why I don't want to take you into politics, because otherwise you will say that I have politicized your forum. But now, coming to your side, there can also be kulambara in the judiciary. You can find the judges are also asleep. How? Because we are trying to get you on the historical bus of modernization, of machines, which has been bypassing us for the last 600 years.